Welcome back to the show, and we have a very special guest. He's my go-to person when it comes to lei making because he knows all different kinds and he's always experimenting. We have Daven Yokota from our Pearl City store. Hi, Daven. How you doing?
Hi, Joy. Doing fine, thanks. How you doing?
Great. And you know, I love when you start telling me about, I came up with this other design and this other design. It's really, really fun. And you do a lot of different combinations, so it comes out really great looking.
Yeah, that's the whole fun thing. You know, straw leis are very simple to do. The techniques are very easy. The real fun part is, again, combinations, because we want to show people they don't have to use the exact same things and the same mixes, and they can come up with some really interesting and creative ideas with us.
So is this the lei that you're going to show us how to do today?
Absolutely. This is
What
a
is
3-straw
this?
flat.
Oh, it's 3 straws.
3 straws, and we're actually featuring that in our lei book.
Great. Oh, yeah, that's right. A new lei book is coming out, right? Great. Well, how do we do this? Because I never saw this like this. I mean, it's really neat because of the way it's with the flowers on the top like that.
Right. My personal name for it is a popcorn orchid.
Oh.
But again, it's a simple 3-straw lei using the Nani yarns in the fern green and the dark moss, and the Kalina yarn, and it's a new yarn, and I just want to try and introduce that to everybody, get to know how to see what it looks like.
So both of those are Nanis.
Both of these are Nani yarns.
Okay, and 2 different greens. Oh.
And the setup is the same. You just need 3 straws, grosgrain ribbon. You would thread the straw with the grosgrain ribbon, tape the end so it doesn't pull through. Measure the length of the ribbon for the what size of lei you want to do it. Give yourself about 8 to 10 inches after that point to tie your bow.
Oh, okay.
And then you're good to go. All right?
So 3 straws.
3-straw flat. So basically, you're going to, same setup again with the straw leis, single straw leis. You would just tie your yarns.
So you're going to tie each straw with one of those. Each one gets their own straw?
Actually, a little different this time,
No?
because the weave is going to be a little different from the basic or the traditional 3-straw flat.
So you're tying on the Kalina to 1.
The Kalina to 1, that's going to be this portion here, the inside portion of the lei. And I'm going to actually grab the 2 Nani yarns together.
Okay.
I'm going to tie this to the other,
To the one on the other side.
the opposite side there too.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and again, you want the knot tight, but not so tight that it doesn't slide up and down your ribbon.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, so you got,
We have 3.
so you have the 2 yarns on the outside and the one without any yarn tied to it in the middle?
That's correct.
Okay.
And we're using different color straws to help make it more visually.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah. So making sure that the yarns are all facing down.
Okay.
Alrighty. And again, the widths of your straws are basically going to be the widths of the lei. And
So if you use skinny ones, it'll be skinnier.
that's correct. And again, the yarns will be down on the bottom, facing down, and then all it is the basic figure 8. We start off with the inside yarn with the Kalina, and then we're just going to do a figure 8 2 times.
2 times.
You bring it down to where your width of your lei is going to be, and you take up the slack.
Okay.
Then
So you did it only with straw 1 and 2.
with 1 and 2. Then you take the yarn that's on the 3rd straw. Then same thing, you're going to do a figure 8 going from 3 to 2. And you're going to be doing 2 figure 8s again. Taking it down to the same place that you took out down the Kalina, take up the slack.
So you do 2.
2.
Oh.
And biggest thing is just being consistent. And then you're just basically going to do the same weave back and forth.
So when you say consistent, you mean like making sure that you always do 2 and the tension, I guess?
That's correct. The same tension, the same amount of weaves, and where you take up the slack is going to be this exact same place all the time. And then you don't want it to fill all the way up because the straws will tend to shift a bit. So there's always going to be pretty much the same place right where in your palm. So as it fills up here, then you would just, let me get a couple more strands there.
Okay, this part doesn't look too hard so far.
Oh no, it's so easy that a guy like me can do this. And you just kind of slide it down a bit, and you just keep on working this through.
How long does it normally take a person maybe to do one of these?
This one will take about an hour and a half at the most.
Because it's involving having to wind a little bit.
That's
A few
correct.
more things.
And again, once you get it started and you have about 8 inches or so down on your lei going, it gets a lot easier because the yarn actually holds all the straws together for you, and it gets a lot simpler. But again, biggest thing, just remember as you do your weaves, the yarn will always end up on the.
On going over the straw.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you just have to remember that you're just doing figure eights.
Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe can do this.
Yeah, and and this is just to, again, show various combinations, and you can do it for school colors. You can do it for whatever your favorite colors, and just however you would like it to look.
I guess because these, they do look like little flowers. It'll be really a great lei for like Mother's Day or different occasions like that. But then if you didn't use this type of yarn and use all of this, then you could make it look more like for a guy or something.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And again, because of the length of lashes, it'll depend on how you want your lei to look. You use a longer lash, it'll come out a little bigger that way. Shorter lash, a little smaller, skinnier.
It's interesting how like this part where the two are meeting, you can barely tell that it's meeting. I mean, it's like it's perfect stripes almost.
Yeah, that's the nice part about using this yarn and using different types of yarns, because again, I just wanted to show people that you're not stuck with using exactly the same thing. You can mix things together to give a different effect.
It's mostly just doing the technique and you'll kind of get the same shape.
That's correct. And then you can, and then the total effect of what you're going to produce is really based upon the yarns that you choose and the colors that you pick. Yeah, graduation is early in month of May, and it's going to be a fun, and we're having a lot of exciting things just because we're coming up with variations of a lot of traditional things, and with the new lei book should be fun to help people with different ideas, and we're really excited because we're going to show a little different uses in different yarns, and that's the fun part about the whole thing.
And in your store, you guys are doing a lot of demonstrations and workshops and whatnot.
Absolutely. And the key thing is that when you're, like as the straw lei is, when you finish this though, and you have it to the length that you want and the tension that you want in the lei like this, is that you would have to pull the ribbons tight enough so that actually the center of the lei kind of bows out like this.
Okay.
And that way it'll lay flat on the person.
So you kind of got to shape it a little.
That's right. So then when your finished product will have a little bow at the end here, so you have to kind of play with the ribbon.
So you play with the ribbon, and I guess that's another good reason not to make the knot too tight.
That's correct.
In the beginning.
Yeah, because if you just make it flat, where it just lays flat, it'll kind of shift on a person. It won't look as well. It won't lay as right on a person. So please make sure that you kind of do that so it ends up there. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good tip to follow.
And again, it's just a matter of when you're having the lei into the length that you want and the fullness that you want, that when you cut your yarns, you tie them to your ribbons and then incorporate the yarn and ribbon together in your little knot at the end.
Oh, at the end, over here part.
Right, so that way it doesn't pop out or anything like that.
Great, and then you're gonna have like streamers in the back.
And then the ribbon is not very inexpensive, so you can either add a kukui nut or another bead or something at the end, or close it off and make a nice bow.
Or something. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing this. I know you have even more lei ideas. Your store contributed a lot of the designs in the lei book, and we're really excited about that. So can you come back next time and show us another lei?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Daven.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.